Hello, everybody. It's Daryl Hanna with Realty One Group and the Bachelor Hanna team. We're here on Keeping It Real Estate Live here in Las Vegas, episode number 2. And I wanted to devote this episode to home renovations and really what's the best place for you as a consumer to put your money when you're thinking about renovating your home, or whether you're going to live in it for a while or you're going to put it on the market and try to sell it. There are some places that are better than others to put your money, so we're going to go over that a little bit based off of chapter 5 of my book, The Secrets Every Home Seller Needs to Know. Chapter 5. So we're just going to go over this chapter. The last episode we hit a few, 3 or 4 different chapters, but I just think home renovations is such a huge subject to people, and a lot of times they don't know the best place to put their money, and I see a lot of people wasting their money, pretty much. So we don't want to do that. So let's jump into it. Obviously, whenever you're thinking about renovating your home, you're going to start with a budget. And some people's budgets are bigger than others, obviously. So obviously when you're thinking about renovating your home and you're thinking about your budget, there's certain things that are very expensive to do. And obviously there are other items that you can do around the house that don't cost as much money. There's a lot of sweat equity stuff that you could do yourself. And that definitely will save you money in the long run and go a long way into increasing the sellability and the value of your home. Now, there's 2 different markets in real estate. There's either a seller's market or a buyer's market. Right now in Las Vegas, and most of the cities in the United States are in the middle of a seller's market because there's low inventory, huge demand, and which is driving the home values up. And so when you're in a seller's market, you get a bigger ROI, return on your investment, when you put money into your house. Meaning, if you were to spend $1,000 to paint the interior of your home, and you were to spend $4,000 on putting new laminate floors in for a total of $5,000, you could increase the value of your home depending on the location and where it's at. But you could get 2 to 3 times your money back. Now in a buyer's market, that's not always the case. In a buyer's market, a lot of times you're hoping to break even. Sometimes you even lose a little money, but you increase the sellability of your home. And so whenever you're even in a seller's market, you're trying to increase the sellability of your home, but you're also trying to increase the value of your home too. A lot of homeowners are almost flipping their own homes, and they're in Vegas. It's working it out. It's working out profitable for them. So I wanted to start with kind of the bare basics on what you should do when you're thinking about renovating your home. I think the basics would be, any health and safety issues that are wrong with your house, maybe a broken window, leaky roof, issues with your plumbing, electrical systems. Those things you should always go through and make sure those are fixed and repaired, because there's nothing worse than when you go to sell your home and the buyer does the home inspection and you got a bunch of stuff wrong with those systems. The buyers are going to ask you to fix them, and a lot of times buyers want huge credits, or they want to take a bunch of money off your house in the beginning when they make the offer. So it's better just to get all that stuff fixed up front. Now, along with the health and safety issues, you just want to make sure that you go through your roof, make sure you don't have any leaks, any faulty wiring, make sure that your junction boxes are all up to code, make sure your AC system is working and functional, your, like I said, plumbing system, electrical system, your attic, your roof. Just make sure all those systems are in good shape. I would say that would be the first place before you start getting crazy on paint and doing your flooring and revamping your kitchen and your bathrooms. Like, make sure make sure that your health and safety issues are taken care of and that all your systems are working functional. Then once you do that, then you want to start thinking about maybe looking at your appliances. Buyers are huge on appliances. There's nothing worse than having a bunch of really old, dirty, used appliances to get a buyer to offer less on your house. So think about appliances. Next one would be hardware, your doorknobs, your towel bars, your toilet paper holders, light fixtures. We know a lot of homes in Vegas were built prior to the boom in the early 2000s and late 90s. They all still have the gold fixtures, and so upgrading those goes a long way. Upgrading them to either silver or nickel, nickel plated, or just anything other than gold. Really, that's a really that's something that goes a long way increasing the value of your home. Believe it or not, it doesn't cost a ton of money to do it. Next, you want to start thinking about your flooring. Obviously, one of the first impressions of a buyer when they walk in your house is your flooring. It's one of the first things they see, and it really sets the tone for the way they feel about your house. So the flooring. Next would be paint. A fresh coat of paint goes a long way. Usually I see people trying to paint their homes themselves. I say hire a professional unless you are really good at it. Obviously, I've seen some really horrific paint jobs, but it is something that you can do yourself, and it goes a long way. Like I said, a fresh coat of paint goes a long way. I'm often asked, hey Daryl, if you're gonna put money in your house, what would be the first room or first place you would put your money? Like, what would you do? And this is just my opinion. This is just from my years of experience of being a realtor. I've flipped several properties here in Las Vegas. I would say my number one would be the kitchen. The kitchen kind of is the hub of the entire house. It's where everybody hangs out. It's where everybody, that's where all of your parties. It's where, it's really just where the action is at your house. So upgrading the kitchen, the countertops, the backsplash, the cabinets, those types of things go a long way. My second would be master bath. Anything that has to do with the master bathroom, the closet, again, upgrading the countertops, maybe ripping out the shower, doing a new enclosed shower goes a long way. That can get a little bit expensive, but again, it goes a long way. Putting built-ins in your closet goes a long way. Girls love that. So my third, so we got kitchen, number one, master bath, number two. Number three, I think, is flooring upgrades. Buyers just get super excited when they walk into a house with new floors, new paint. It just really gives you a really good feeling when you walk through the door. And that's really what you're trying to create when you're trying to sell your home. You want to create that really good feeling when the buyers walk through your door. What you don't want to happen is the buyer to walk through your door and hate your house, and it's dirty, and the floors are dirty, and the paint needs to be painted 10 years ago. The buyers will just start knocking off the dollars off your house, and that's going the wrong way. So you want to make sure that you, the last episode we spoke about curb appeal, putting some money into the curb appeal of your home when people first pull up and they fall in love with your house before they even walk through the door. They open the door, they see new floors, paint, new appliances, the master bath, the kitchen are nice. You're going to sell your house, and you're going to sell it for top dollar. And so those are my suggestions. Now, some people, they don't have the budget to renovate the kitchen and the master bath and new floors and all this stuff. There are some things that you can do. Like I said, painting is a big one that you can do on your own. Same with landscaping. Cleaning up the front yard landscape, doing the backyard landscape. You can do all that yourself. and you can go down to Star Nursery and buy some plants and have some rock delivered and spread it. And those are things you can do yourself. And so those are things I would recommend if you're on a budget. Cleaning the home, getting it presentable, obviously something you can do yourself. Now, I always recommend hiring a professional to do the painting and doing the floors, and even when it comes down to doing the landscaping. But again, you could do it yourself. Now, some smaller items that can add some dramatic effect to your house: new baseboards, crown molding, those type of things. Now, baseboards you could do in every room of the home. Your crown molding, you'd want to limit it to certain areas of the house, maybe your master, the dining room. I see people do it all throughout the house. I mean, really, it's what makes you feel good. But people ask me, okay, what's the return on my investment if I was to put $5,000 into my kitchen? And like I said before, it really depends on the market, and it depends on the area of town inside that market. For instance, I mean, you could put $5,000 into your home in an area that was built in the 60s, or you could go put $5,000 in your kitchen in Summerlin. The return on investment probably going to be higher in the house in Summerlin, just because it's a newer area, it's nicer. People are just willing to pay more in those areas. But relatively speaking, in a seller's market, you're going to get a lot more return for your money. In a buyer's market, you're going to hope to break even, sometimes even lose a little money, but it sets you apart and increases the sellability. Because we know in a buyer's market, what does that mean? It means that the market's flooded with inventory, and that you're really battling to get those eyes over to your house. So that's the reason why you would do a renovation in a buyer's market. I hope that helps. If anybody has ever any questions, call me, Daryl Hanna, 702-218-4585 is my cell. Of course, me and Jillian, we're on The American Dream, which is a national real estate show that airs every Sunday at 9:30 a.m. on Channel 13. So me and Jillian appear on that once a month, and but it does air every week, and it's an amazing show. I tell everybody to tune in because they got a lot of good information on that show about real estate and all facets of real estate, lending, the real estate side of it, home improvement. It doesn't matter. They really talk about a lot of different things. So I'm hooked on The American Dream. I hope you guys tune in. And next week, we are going to cover Chapter 6. And what that entails, Chapter 6 goes over the 3 Ds. And it talks about getting your home ready to list. And the 3 Ds are depersonalize, declutter, and discard. And so next week, tune in Wednesday, 5 p.m. here on Instagram Live. And we're going to go over the 3 Ds. And probably we'll go into a little bit about how to market your home, which your realtor takes care of most of that. But we'll talk about some of the things we do to market properties and get your home sold. So tune in with me. Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in with me. We'll see you next week.